Hi there, thanks so much for tuning in. Today I'm going to share some simple tips with you for editing photos on Google Snapseed, a free app for your phone. After you've downloaded the app, the first thing to do is open the app, and top left hand side you click the open button, and that accesses your camera roll, and you select the photo that you'd like to select by clicking on it in your camera roll, and that's how you import the photo. The first thing I like to do with photos is to straighten them to make sure all the lines are straight. It's much more interesting to look at and makes the photos look a bit more polished and professional. So there's a few ways of doing it. So I'm going to click on Tools, which is the bottom center button, and I'm going to go to Rotate. So second from the top left, and I can tap my finger anywhere on the screen to the right and to the left, and it makes the photo go twist around. And the top part of them, you can see the straighten angle at the top. So 10.9, 10, and it changes direction. So my main goal here is to keep the image as straight as possible. And you've also got a guide of lines showing up like a ruler. So that's about as good as I can get it. It's pretty good on the left hand side. The right hand side's not so great. So I'm going to go tick just there. And then I'm going to crop out some things, unwanted things in my image. So the right hand side, I don't really like how it's not straight, where I can see half the bars showing on the cot. So go to Tools, and I'm going to crop the image now. So crop is the top left tool there, and I'm going to bring in the side of the image. So I tap my finger on the screen and I pull it in from the right hand side. So I'm pulling it in there and cropping that out, and I go bottom right hand side as the tick box. So I'm happy with that. And the next thing I'd like to do is to lighten my image. So to me, the shadows are quite dark. I don't want to lift too much. I don't want to make the light parts too much lighter, but I want the shadow parts lighter. So my favorite tool for that is Curves. So I go to Tools again, and Curves is the top row in center. Curves is basically a graph. The graph represents the top part is the light part, the whites, and the bottom part is the black part, which is the dark and the shadow parts. So you can add multiple points to this graph or curve. So I'd like to add, at this point I'm going to add 1 point. I'm going to add it to the bottom. So bottom 3/4 of the way down, and see that little blue dot? Now I'm going to lift that up. So I'm basically lifting my shadow points. So I'm lifting like that. I'm going to take it too far, and I'm going to bring it back. Too far, bring it back, and just keep edging about what my point is that makes me feel comfortable, or I'm not losing too much of the white. And that's probably pretty good for me right there. So before I press tick as okay, I can tap my finger on the screen to show before, after, before, after. I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm going to tick that. The only other thing I'd probably do would be to add maybe a tiny bit of yellow, which is warmth to my photo. So I'm going to click on Tools and go to Tune Image, and Tune Image adds up another menu. So there's a sub menu. So I click on Tune Image, and the bottom part of the menu, there's 4 lines on top of one another. Sorry, 3 lines on top of one another. I click on that, and it brings up a sub menu. I can bring my finger and I can click on any of these things. There's brightness, contrast, saturation, ambience, highlights. I'm going to warmth, and again I just click my finger on the screen, and I can go too far and bring it back. And you've got your at the top of the screen, it's telling you how far, what percentage you're taking it to. So I'm going to add around about +6. I'm happy with that. So again, before and after, tap my finger on the screen. I'm going to go tick the bottom right hand side. Now my next step is I might add a tiny little bit of sharpening and contrast, and I would do that in, I go to Tools, and Details is my favorite thing to do that in. So that's the top part of the menu, second from your left. So Details, and tap your finger on the screen and move it too far one way, and there's no way I'd add that much to it. It's far too much. It makes the photo look a bit overdone. So I'm going to add maybe +8, and I'm pretty happy with that. So it only just adds a dash of sharpening. So I'm going to go click, tick that there, and then so I'm going to check my before and after overall to see if I'm happy before I export it. So before, after, before, after. I'm pretty happy with that. So now I'm going to go export. I'm going to choose always save as a copy. So I want a copy because I've always got my original in case I don't like how far I've taken it. So save as a copy. And now that's been saved to your camera roll. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'll create some more editing videos soon and upload them and keep you updated via my email list. Thank you so much. See ya.